things now, I start now to imagine if somebody like that would recognize the power of art, then it means art has a very incredible space in the society, right? And I on this on social media and everywhere, I keep trying to show people that definitely the world itself. Look at this studio here. If why it not for art? Why would you have different colors in this studio? That's art, right? And so it's happening everywhere. Even whoever is working in automobile, if they were just to bring the machine the way they think about it without, putting the body parts and everything and making it, bringing the aesthetic part of it, and then nobody will be appreciating that, right? So art is a very essential thing in our society. It's something that is going to be glowing us. And I'm just happy that even the society, the leadership frameworks have embraced that. And one thing I'm really glad is that being in Yali doesn't try to change you to fit in whatever professions that have been recognized in the society. It says, what are you doing? So you can fit. If you cannot be in the public management, then you can be a civic leader, or you can be an entrepreneur. For example, myself, and it has made my art to be so versatile in the sense that I can be an activist at the same time I'm a business person. Music for me is a business. That's what I do full time. So the music I compose, I can sing about love, but at the same time, I can sing to tell the government, hey, you need to step up and all that. And for me, that's an opportunity that I don't know if I would have gotten it if it were just in university, academics and all that. Yeah. But the idea that I'm trying to put across is that whoever you are, those who are watching, as a young person, what you need to know is to study yourself and understand who you are. Understand your abilities, understand that the potential that you have, and then infuse that in whatever talent, in whatever gift you've been given. If you're good, at academics, you understand stuff really well, go for it. If you're good at, hands-on works with hands and all that, perfect that. And it takes time, actually. For example, myself, I think I picked up the guitar. It's now like over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Over 10 years ago.
Playing that.
Yeah, just playing the guitar and all that. And then with all the whatever you have to overcome, the stereotypes, you have to overcome the things that will pull you down. Things like, okay, so what are you going to build out of playing guitar? What are you going to build out of composing music and all that? To overcome all those things until now you can ground yourself to a point where you are now a household name. You are now someone people can refer. Like, hey, I'm looking for someone who can play, let's say, a violin. I'm looking for someone who can play a piano, someone who can compose music on a certain subject and all that. To reach to that level, you need to rise up and overcome the fears. First of all, you conquer yourself. After you've conquered yourself, then it's easier to conquer the world, right? And some of these things are better achieved when you hook up with into these programs like Yali, because now Yali trains you to become a better leader, to become the best version of yourself. And the point we are saying is you are a leader in whatever space you are.
You are a leader in whatever space you are. Guys, I'm reading acceptance. That Yali, I'm used to having conversations with the participants of Yali, now the larger Yali. And mostly you will see that there are people interested in public service, interested in the law, interested in politics. And some of these people who are now artists, they may wonder, then what's my space? Where is my space in either Yali Regional Leadership Center, Yali Network as a whole? Wataanza kujiona ni kama hatuko hapo hivyo. But when you have that acceptance, then you can you can start to visualize. And it comes to point number 2, that you need versatility. In whatever you are doing, wherever you are, you can be a leader. In TV and film, you are a leader, and now you're leading even in other professions. You don't have to have studied public management to do some kind of things. No, you incorporate everyone. So when we come to you, Rach, you've worked with all these young youths, because as a director, it means you have a team. As a producer, you have a team, and these teams mostly they are people who are younger than yourselves. Those camera persons or DOPs, those script writers, those actors, they cast themselves, and now nurturing them to be leaders through the Mandela Washington Foundation. How else can someone who is out there, who is feeling, Mazi, I accept myself, but I don't know how I can join you guys. How do they get to join you, and how can they participate in yearly events?
Okay, that's a very good question. First of all, I want to start by saying that we have a lot of yearly fellows, like Douglas and myself, who are in the art space. We even have some. There's another fellow who was just recently recognized as top 40 women in from the yearly RLC. We have vigilance. We have so many fellows that are in the art space who are always willing to share the fire, and most of them have actually programs that they're doing. But apart from that, what I'll tell someone about Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders and yearly RLC programs that I understand is that anyone can apply. But as you apply, what makes you get into the program is how your mindset is in terms of, are you looking to lead? Is the project you want to do, let's say you're an entrepreneur, is the project you want to do going to be beneficial to your community? In fact, I would dare say that these yearly programs are designed even for grassroots leaders, not just for the big leaders in Nairobi sitting in government offices and everything. They pick from all counties of Kenya, and that means they go into the grassroots. And also you have to remember this is a sub-Saharan Africa program. So even the yearly RLC is not only in Kenyatta University.
Yeah.
We have another one in Ghana. We have like 4 regional leadership centers in Africa. So they're catering for a lot of countries in sub-Saharan Africa. So one of the things that you have to do, and that I can say from my personal story, when you see the application link, for instance, the Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders, the application is coming up, by the way, in 1.5 weeks.
1.5 weeks.
We want young artists to apply for that program. If you unajitambua, you're a leader, please apply, because what do you stand to lose if you don't apply? You don't get anything. And I want to say that sometimes it's good to also know that, there's different programs. There's chevening, there's a lot of programs, other programs that are there that advertise for these fellowships. The good thing about these fellowships, most of them are fully funded. And secondly, they get you out of your cocoon. Normally, as Rachel Wainaina, you'd find my network would be around artists, because those are the people I work with
On a
day
daily
in,
basis.
day out. But what the fellowship gives you is a network of somebody working in agriculture. It introduces you to somebody running a science museum, and then you're like, what's a science museum? Oh my God, this girl is doing so well, but I've never heard of a science museum. You learn something new. When you travel, when you meet people from other countries, you learn something new. And what many people don't also know is that even at the yearly regional leadership center in East Africa, whether you're doing it virtually or in person, you get to meet people from over 14 countries in Africa. We got to meet leaders from 52 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. And I always say that many people may think because I went to the University of Notre Dame and I learned business, entrepreneurship, and leadership, but that they may think my main takeaway was being in that university and the people I met in America. But I want to make it clear that the main takeaway I got from the Mandela Washington Fellowship was actually meeting the awesome young African leaders and being inspired by the great work that they're doing. And I think when you go there, I would summarize it like this: you'll get education, exposure, and experience, which is what you need to take your career to the next level. And I think the most important thing is that you'll get the mindset shift. So I would say, first, follow the pages. That's where you start.
Yeah.
Know the pages where the links are posted. So you can follow US Embassy Nairobi. They always post every fellowship opportunity. You can also follow YALI, RLC East Africa. They have a page on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. You follow, and then you follow Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders. Those are pages you follow.
Yeah.
Then you wait for the links. Then also we have some yearly events that are open to the public. So for instance, we've engaged as the Mandela Washington Fellowship Association, we've engaged in a lot of activities to reach out to people. And I don't know whether people know this, but YALI has three different departments. We have the Mandela Fellowships. We have Mandela. Then we have YALI RLC. Mandela and YALI RLC, I consider them the same, one and the same thing. And then now there's the YALI network, which is online. And I think because Douglas has attended both Mandela and YALI RLC, can attest that they're almost the same. The difference is some people go to America and some people learn from here, but the same benefits come in. The same quality of education you get is the same. The tracks are the same. And the opportunities that come after the fellowship are the same. That's why we're both sitting here and we network a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, Douglas is also a leader in the YALI RLC committee as well. So we network a lot and we work together. We have conferences that happen. Like YALI RLC has been hosting a lot of activities. Douglas will tell you about it. For us, we've done a lot. We played even for the Global Goals World Cup for gender equality. We've done peace dialogues in 5 counties in Kenya. And this year, we actually, like in partnership with the US Embassy, Nairobi, as MWF Alumni Association, we decided, let's celebrate YALI. It's been 10 years. 10 years of wonderful work.
Since
over
2014.
6,000.
Yeah.
Over 6,000 leaders raised. And these leaders are amazing. We have some of them now as politicians. We have some of them working in very high level government. We're talking people working in parliament, in the office of the Auditor General. We're talking about people starting African companies like Financing Alliance for Health. We're talking about somebody like Maurice Betzer, who's now, I actually had the privilege of going with Maurice Betzer to the same university and the same year of fellowship. Then I was making these yearly stories and I went to visit his company. And guess what? He has bought himself a private island. He has a private jet and he runs an 8 billion Kenyan shillings company. He's running the biggest IoT company in Africa. That's a Mandela Washington Fellow, who I know was very poor in 2014 when we went, because we're in the same university. I know his financial status, how it was. And just to see the impact of the education, because he got internship with IBM and he got to come back and he was able to fundraise. He was able to also know, if I'm innovating a product, he even did a flying drone and he flew it. But he used to make innovations, but he never used to know, if I make this innovation, how can I sell it? But today, Maurice is supplying Tigo, Tanzania. He's supplying our KPLC meters, the ones we are using. They're supplied by Maurice.
The cables.
No, the meters, the token meters. He's the one who's making here. They're being made here in Kenya now. The water, smart water meters. The other day he was launching another product. I can't remember, but it's for tracking kids so that you can know where your kids are. Now, he's able to make the product, but not only make it, but make the product and sell it. That's the impact of YALI. So what I would say, don't fear to apply for YALI as long as you know that you have an idea, either in civic leadership, in public management, apply. Now we have YALI Fest. YALI Fest is to celebrate young African leaders and to bring leaders like me, Douglas, and many others like Maurice Betzer, and many others that have phenomenal stories, to bring them to engage with the youth. So the youth are allowed to sign up as delegates. If you go to MWF Trust, www.mwftrust, there's a link. You can click and register for the Nairobi YALI Fest. And when you click and register, what you'll have is the opportunity to come and see the Yali businesses, ask questions about Yali and MWF, and also be able to engage with these leaders. Thank you.
Let's give it a pause
Yeah.
there, because we'll get back there, because we will be inviting them again for the Yali festivals. We'll be talking about how Yali Festival Kisumu was and the Mombasa edition, especially the Mombasa edition. Watu wameiongelelea sana. I don't know if you know that. Douglas, I hear like Yali fellows are a world of their own, where we have everyone from tech service, people excelling from Internet of Things to creating products, selling products, artists like yourself with a whole music record, Doe music record label. You're still there in Yali. You are a leader right now in Yali Regional Leadership Center. But mara yako ya kwanza kuapply, you failed. And a lot of youths tuko hapo hivyo. Una apply, inakataa. Una give up, unasema, it's not giving. Hiyo si yangu. How did you, what pushed you to continue applying even when you missed it for the first time? You called yourself for a meeting, you did self-reflection, ukijiuliza, is it because I'm an artist? Watu wataki watu wa guitar. You know, watu wa guitar na the musicians, watu wa guitar huandamana na kofia fulani na shades, trench coat kiasi na trouser ikwe kitenge. Hata ikuvaa full kitenge, asiitwe msanii. They are saying, waimbaji hawa ni vijana tu watundu, because you'll see some of these artists hapo ndo wako na ile mpaka free will ya maybe kuweka dready na vitu kama hizo. So sometimes kuna ile prejudice and profiling that these guys wako tu hapa chini. Now umeapply Yali na umekosa. How you felt, what pushed you to continue, and the process imekuwa aje to up to now that you are a leader in Yali RLC and helping others?
Yeah, well, of course, first of all, it was the MWF. It was the one which gave me a challenge, because I actually applied twice. Yeah, but for Yali, I think it was just once. Yeah, but I think it's the same question. It just applies. The big question you're asking, what made me to do it again and try again? And I will talk about the vision for my life. And I think this is something that maybe will help someone, that every person, just like gadgets have specific work they're supposed to do. And so every person in this world has a purpose to fulfill. And it's that purpose that needs to inform your vision for life. And so now, when that has informed your vision for life, it means once you set out to achieve something, you will not settle until you achieve it. And for me, that was the primary motivation, that I need to develop my skills, because naturally I know I discovered I'm a mentor. And to be a better mentor, it means I need to be mentored. And so I would seek this opportunity until I get it. And so no matter the regret later, in fact, whenever I'm applying for something, if I'm given a regret, what I do, I sit down and learn from that application. And then I realize maybe this is where I did wrong or something. And sometimes, and I want to make it very clear, sometimes it's not that even you have mistakes in your application. Sometimes it could be just the competition is just too tough, okay? And the panelists, they only have a choice to take 50 people. And so do not go around beating yourself up and all those things. The thing is, do your best. At any point in time, always give it your best. So that when you've given it your best, because I've heard of stories where someone said, I applied and failed, I didn't change my application. I just went. All I did was to update. If there's something if I've done a new project, I just added. But the language is the same. And this time round, I got it. Because, Kenya as a country has a lot of excellent young people. And you realize if you stand today and say, I have this opportunity and I only want 20 people, you will see 300,000 young Kenyans applying, right?
Yeah.
You only have 20 people. You want 20 people. And you'll be shocked. You'll have people from Kapenguria. Nowadays, you don't even expect from Nairobi alone. You'll have Kapenguria, people as far as Kwale and all those places. So the point is, do you have a vision for your life? And that's where you need to start. And the good thing now about Yali, when you whether it's Mandela Washington, and you put it rightly that the programs are the same. It's only that for Mandela it happens in the US, but the regional leadership center happens within Africa. But the content is the same. They might differ in terms of the exposure and all that, but the content is just almost the same. But the point we are trying to say, if you have a vision, follow that vision. And do not settle until you get it, right? And of course, you can work. Unfortunately, sometimes maybe some will start late because we have cap ages. For Mandela Washington and RLC, the cap is 35. So unfortunately, sometimes you might hit 35 before you achieve, but that's not to mean that you just give up, because the Yali network has no age limit.
It doesn't have a age limit.
You can be there, and we have a myriad of courses you can do. Something funny about me, when I made it to the center, I went there and I was already known. Because this was happening. I was doing I had done all those courses, the online courses for the network. I had done all of them. And then when I finish a course, I do a program and invite young people to come, and I teach them what I have learned. And so even the center started knowing me before I even joined the center. So the point is this: sometimes we struggle a lot because we are looking for validation. And sometimes your validation point could be, if I make it to the center, then I'll be validated. That's a wrong motive, because when you hit past 35 and you have not made, then you start considering yourself as a failure. And yet we have a network opportunity. When you do a course there, you can organize an event. They call it Yali Lands. You can organize a Yali Lands event. You're still part of Yali, you see. So everybody, you need to study yourself. And I'll repeat that point wherever. You need to study yourself. Know yourself, right? Once you know yourself, and then now start asking yourself, what do I want to achieve? And then you just have to go for it. Yeah, because looking at what I do, I know that we have a lot of artists who are also in my space, but looking at what I do and how I do it, sometimes I'm even like surprised at myself, because I'm using this and I am able to use art to fit into spaces that you will not find a lot of artists. Because, and I tell people, my target is, I would love to be famous, I would love to trend, but it's not really my main point. I target these corporate entities somewhere like UN, where I'll go, yes, I'll perform, but I'll also be on the table where we are. If there is a policy somewhere we are discussing, I'm also into that. Because now that changes the perspective of the artist. Because I've been in events where everything is happening and an artist is just something you know, watu wameboeka, so come and I don't do that. In fact, I'm usually very clear. If you are calling me for that, I'll not come. Because I am an artist who understands the environment. And if you invite me, actually, what happens, I need to understand. Send me a concept note. Do not just invite me. There's no concept note. I'm just coming to entertain you. I don't know what's happening. So I sit in a corner somewhere to be called. No.
You don't know why you're entertaining them. No. You don't know if they are stressed. You don't know if it's if it's a celebration. It's they need this entertaining.
Yes.
You don't know the purpose of why you are entertaining them, obviously,
Yeah.
but you don't know why.
Why?
You need a
Yeah.
na hizo ndo vitu hadi nilikuwa naambia watu. For example, we keep insisting that we need media kits for our artists, mostly, who are coming here. It's because we want them wasiwachwe nyuma. Unaona? Hata corporates zenye zina rise up, startup companies wasiwachwe nyuma, because these things are what is happening globally. From Madam Rachel, you'll learn that alipoenda kusoma huko nje hakuwa mesmerized na watu wa huko. Alikuwa mesmerized na the fact that you are getting other Africans wenye mna grow pamoja, mna build vitu pamoja, na kila mtu anarudi kwao nyumbani kutengeneza. A clear definition of we leave the block to change the block. Now, Yali festivals and Yali events, nyingi utazipata ziko kwa elites. The university students ndo wako involved sana. Let's talk to hawa pengine bado hawajaingia, is the young crops, wanataka kuingia into these tertiary institutions. They have the vigor, they have the vision, vile Douglas amesema. They are willing kujituma, but they don't know how they can be incorporated. We've talked about applying. We've not talked about eligibility, because eligibility is another issue. Douglas, when you were starting to join the Mandela Washington Foundation for Young African Leaders, mara ya kwanza hakumake, unaona. So there's something about eligibility there. Who can apply? What do I need so that I can apply successively?
Okay, yeah, that's another very good question. So there's eligibility requirements for the MWF and the early RLC programs. First of all, they also have age limit, as Douglas has rightfully said. For MWF, it's 24 years to 35 years mostly. If you're between that age, you can apply. But let me say this, I'm not allowed to speak on behalf of other people, but from my observation and my knowledge, I've seen many exchange programs also that can cater for a youth who is, let's say, 18 years, even 12 years. There's even like Fulbright programs that we see the US Embassy. I'm not talking just about single-handedly about US Embassy, but out there's a lot of programs that are there for different age groups. So the thing is, and Douglas has mentioned this, which is very important. When you decide, I want to be a leader, the next step you need to take is try and get a mentor. If you're interested in Yali, you can make it like as a plan. Like let's say you're 21 and you want to get into Yali. Start by doing the online courses, which you can do when you're 18. Douglas started
confessing that he had done.
And they're free of charge. As long as you can access the internet, do the online courses. Then what do you do next? There's something like, for example, I would say like I'm a member of the American Reference Center. You can attend the American Reference Center. ID is free. And when you go there, you start now meeting people and start knowing other programming that are there. I know different development partners have different programs. I always say that when you're 18, if like what I would tell my younger self, if I would get a chance to be 18 again, I would go for the best leadership position that I can go for at 18 years old. Because we've seen your Fazi Malala, who won a Nobel despite the fact that she was 16 years old. She's influencing the world. Age is not a limiting factor to what you can do. And Douglas said this, and I want to even like say, for example, I think maybe people don't understand the intensity of what Douglas does. So for instance, for me, how I came to know Douglas, even before he was a fellow, Douglas was performing. He performed in South Africa. I think he performed in South Africa in a very big conference. This is an international artist sitting right here, going with his band around the world, performing. And he's performed in front of presidents. Like you understand that that being able to do this. And of course, we can't say that Douglas is old. You get the point. So it's like, it's about kujituma. Me, I always tell young people, and my passion is in young people, the youth, because I believe in the youth. That's why I started Youth Film Platform Africa, and I've been able to empower 1,500 youths with practical and professional skills in filmmaking. I don't know whether you know this and you have interviewed this guy before, Mark Miner.
Yeah.
Mark Miner is an alumni of Youth Film Platform Africa. He's now a multiple award-winning director who's gone to Germany, screened his films in Cannes. And it's because what I did not help him much. What I did, I helped him understand how talented he is and how he needs to unveil his talent. And I always believe that, I think that the universe will always give you what you believe you can get. If you believe that my place is in, let's say, somewhere in a slum, and the only thing I can never afford is to pay a 3,000 shillings house, and these I've tested. Believe me, you'll always get the 3,000. But if you move and say, I want to elevate myself, I want to challenge myself to work harder, imagine you will afford. You will afford to live the next life. So it's a mindset thing. Because whatever you set your mind to achieve, and I'm saying this because I know a youth might be listening, I'm not any special than you. The difference between people is you have a dream, you have an ability that I don't have. But are you taking action or are you just sleeping? Do you believe enough in your dream? Because you have to. And when you believe, then take the action. So that's where you're saying. Take the action.
After believing.
Don't look at the limiting factors.
No, just.
If MWF does not take you because you're not 24, go to Yali Network and do the online course. And then look, what are the scholarships? Okay, let's say you got a D and you cannot get the scholarship because they check the grades and blah, blah, blah. What's another thing I can do? I'm talented. I'm phenomenal. If I can be a chef, can I go on digital media? Where can I go on TikTok and show people how to cook? We are living in an age, let me tell you something, why I'm saying creative economy is the next frontier for job creation. Look at Kenya. Right now, the Gen Zs are surviving off TikTok. And Instagram. They're becoming brand influencers. All you need to do.
On their own spaces.
And all you need to do is to study platforms like Meta, study TikTok, and find something that you like doing. For instance, if I was the brand manager, because that's another job I do, for Douglas, the first thing I'll tell him is, you like singing, just take your guitar, put the camera on and go live and start singing. And people will watch you, and Meta will pay you, and Bonfire will take you to Dubai, and other things will start coming.
They'll tell you, let's go. Reduce some stress. Let's sponsor your art. It's not you. It's that which you are doing.
Exactly. It's the drive. You have to build your CV. And actually, you've brought a very nice point. Let me just say this real quick. It's very important to build your CV. Your CV is not built by your grades. Your CV is built by what you do. If you find yourself idle at home, go and volunteer. Go and find somewhere to volunteer. Tell them to write you a recommendation letter. It will go in your CV. Go to a particular government office, even if you're a sweeper, and they write you a recommendation letter. That is important. Because now when you are told, send me your bio, even when I was coming here, you asked me to send your bio. And if I send my bio and it doesn't look good, you won't call me for the interview. You get the point. So it's like, you have to start writing your bio, even when you're in high school. This is what we're talking to, even to high school students, not even the youth, because you have to start the culture from down. I want to make everyone aware that we are products of colonialism. And what the colonialists did when they came to Africa, they taught our young people, who are now our parents, they took them to school to be taught to be employees. And we are here to change that narrative. Africans don't have to go to school to become employees. When you ask a kid, what do you want to do? The kid will tell you, I want to be a pilot, I want to be an engineer, I want to be, all those are employees. They will not tell you, I want to be the biggest entrepreneur, I want to be Bill Gates, I want to be Elon Musk, I want to come up with my company. That's the narrative we're trying to change here. We're trying to say, instead of looking for a job, be the job creator.
Be the job creator. Guys, it's always a masterclass about Art and Culture Monday. I tell you about these things daily. I bring you professionals who wanaongelelea the same things, guys. We are living in an age yenye you can be live, you can be online anytime you want without consulting anyone. Though I hear when you wako kwa kulima, the new livestock bill, kuna vitu hautafanya. Douglas, this August we are having a Yali Regional Leadership Center going on. Huu mwaka, what's the theme, and how can we get on board for this year's Yali Regional Leadership Center events?
Yeah, well, of course, one thing I will also say before even the event is that we have the cohort 56, 57 up to 9 that are now, I think people have started receiving calls and and all that, and congratulations to all of them. So one thing to mention is that for the RLC, the regional center, on a yearly basis we can have like more than 5 cohorts which happen every after month that are happening. So if you miss this, make sure you apply the next one and all that. And then now for the networking event, this one is bringing, of course we'll have a few non-alumni, but mostly it's targeting the alumni to bring them together. And the biggest thing that is coming in, which has been the strength, and I'm sure Rachel will also confirm this, the biggest strength for Yali is the networking. So what's happening, we are bringing the alumni together. It has been some time after commencing from the center. Now we are bringing them together to network, to also relearn from, since the center, what have you been up to and all that. And you can see that the testimony she has given about the alumni from MWF. So it will be an opportunity for people to relearn what other people have been doing, and also to meet other fellows from other cohorts, because after the commencing from the center, it's usually it's like a marathon. You want to change the world like today, all right? And so people are usually going to create stuff and all that. So we are just bringing them together and to make sure that at least we keep the fire burning. And
congratulations to each and every person who has received their congratulatory messages, those who have joined. I've seen some of them. Some of they are so happy. The youth are so happy out there. And as I prepare to read those comments, maybe Yali festivals. You've done Kisumu, it was the first one. You've done Mombasa. On August 17th, you're shifting gears now to Nairobi. Nini kikubwa kime happen Mombasa na Kisumu, and what should people expect in Yali Festivals Nairobi edition?
Wow, Yali Fest has just been amazing. We kickstarted Yali Fest in March. We went to Kisumu City. And what is beautiful about Yali Fest is just the way the event is curated, where we have a lot of activities. We have roundtable discussions. So the main thing about Yali Fest, as Douglas has said, is bringing leaders together. But what makes it more fun is that it's not MWF alone. It's MWF, Yali RLC alumni coming together to showcase their work and interact with youth and interact with Yali network. So actually the main target of audience of the Kenyan youth between 18 years going up, and they are attending, and the main goal is for them to interact with Yali fellows, to interact with their works. So in Kisumu, we had a very good Yali Fest. We had Ignite Talks, where you get to listen to somebody like Maurice Metzer that I've just told you the story about, standing in front there and talking about how he built his company from zero, stayed for 10 years without paying his employees, and they stayed with him.
Charging everyone, whoever thought it's not possible. Now you get to meet someone who was at the same position that you are in, or maybe was in 2014, 10 years down the lane.
You hear the Ignite Talks. Then we have workshops. We have workshops on public management. We have workshops on, so you get to learn and you get a certificate at the end of it. So there's entrepreneurship, there's civic leadership for people in advocacy. And then there is a workshop in public management for those who work in government or they want to work in government. So there's also that. Then there's roundtable discussions, which we've been doing virtually, where if you're not able to really make it in the Yali Fest event itself, you can come. But the biggest part of Yali Fest is also the celebration. And I'm glad to say that we've had a lot of celebration. We've had great musicians coming from Kisumu, from Mombasa. And in Nairobi, we're going to be having the best band in 254, Doe Band, which is going to be entertaining us. It's going to be on 17th. We have a couple of virtual workshops happening from next week.
During the fest, Bado.
Yeah, they're happening virtual festivals, workshops are starting next week, and then we're going to go into the main event, and it's going to be a big celebration. We're expecting over 800 people present at Yali Fest, Nairobi. These are leaders of government, these are leaders of private sector, leaders, development partners, and we are expecting all these leaders to come together and really talk about the issues. And I need not to say this, but you can even see the current Gen Z revolution that's happening. There's lots of Yali fellows who are at the forefront.
People
And
who
you can
are
even I would say one Yali fellow is Kam Samuel, for example. He's a Yali fellow, and you can see the level of leadership and the good name that he has gotten from.
I remember when he was abducted, Asmal McAury. The Yali
RLC posted.
They posted.
Because the thing is, Yali comprises of everyone. Leaders in civic leadership, in public management, and all this. So Yali Fest will bring all these leaders together. We're going to have all these nice activities, but also we're going to have a big celebration and entertainment, and also celebrating 10 years of Yali. Of course, it's 14 years of the entire Yali program, but it's 10 years of Mandela Washington Fellowship that is being celebrated this year as well. But we're happy to do that alongside other young leaders who are changing the world. And the thing is to share the stories, share experiences, and network and create business opportunities. We're also going to have a very big expo. That's another thing that we do. So Yali fellows will come and exhibit. You can interact with their businesses. You can even get a job. You can get an opportunity from
Today you've echoed something that is very, very paramount, that people should consider this as number one kwa list yao. I always tell my people pale hivyo Art and Culture Monday, because our greatest audience are youths between 18 to 35. Most of them are university students from all over the country. I tell them that your network is your net worth. So ukikuwa pale hivyo umetokea Yali Fest 2024, the Nairobi edition is coming on August 17th. Siwezi taka mtu amisi hiyo date, August 17th. Make sure unatokea pale hivyo ukiwa mahali huko. You're expecting leaders. Okay, I'm expecting now you to be there to interact with these leaders wenye watakuwa hapo hivyo. And apart from that, it will be festivals zina happen. Ndio maana ni Yali Fest 2024. And Doe Music Band, Doe Music, kwanza waambie kuhusu Doe Music as a record label, as a band. Ebu waambie how you coordinate these disciplines and what your role will be in Yali Fest 2024.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. So Doe Music and Arts is an academy, based in Nakuru, but we are also bringing in Nairobi due to public demand. So it's an academy and a production studio, which offers training, mentorship in the space of art. Actually, what we are doing is bringing also the impact that Yali has brought to us to inspire young artists and to inspire even young people in general, and to bring them into wholesomeness as artists. But at the same time, we are also making sure that now we bring in the element of entertainment, so that yes, we are serious people, but at the same time, we understand that life is good when you smile, you know. And so we have a band that is usually comprised. The full band is usually 12 people, and we have a number of instruments that we usually have. But from time to time, depending on the logistics and all that, you will have a band of 6 people. So you have singers, you have someone playing a saxophone, someone playing violin, playing the guitar, singing, and all that. And we have I think since myself, I'm really passionate about excellence, so I always go for the best. So we usually call for auditions and make sure that young people are well equipped and are all good. Now, I will not say so much about it, but you come, don't miss that festival. And we have told ourselves this is the moment people will now say, but where have you been, guys? But we have to make what to humu. But that's coming. And we're also doing production. As a matter of fact, most of the music we just do it at our own studios. And even
In
right
Nakuru.
now, in Nakuru. And even right now, there's a very beautiful song. I think you can add it to your playlist. It's called Big Team. That is happening on Spotify. Check it out.
Something else that I wish to remind our viewers is that today you will perform.
Okay.
You will perform. I'm just preparing how after this interview we can have that. He has the acoustic guitar and his prowess on using that guitar and a number of instruments that he's best in or talented in are a thing that you must come to watch during the Yali Fest 2024 right here in Nairobi. So watu wako Nairobi hawana excuse ya do I need to go to Nakuru to experience Doe music and arts. Yali Fest is coming in Nairobi. They will be there. They're also setting up studio in Nairobi. That's a good thing. Rachel, on your part. Sasa niko na watu hapa hivi. Kwanza wacha nikumalizie ile comment nilikuwa nimekuambia about people who have already graduated. And one of them is Kikonyogo Robert. Now, Kikonyogo Robert has a PhD. But he's talking about it. He's saying, I am a proud alumnus of Yali RLCEA as an AGWTUT Cohort 1 and Cohort 36 Civic Leadership. Meaning mtu anaweza kuwa kwa hii cohort and next year you want to do some other things, uingie ufanye hizo. So tufanye hivi, tupe your handles na mahali unapatikana so that these people can reach you out na ulize haya maswali directly because hapa hivi tunaona hii time pia inaisha. So wakikupata mahali watakupata then itakuwa shwari, utawaelezea zaidi, si ndio? Okay. Kabisa.
So my personal handles is at Rachel Wainaina on Facebook, at Rachel Wainaina on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And also as Mandela Washington Fellowship, please follow Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders Kenya chapter. Please also follow Yali RLC Alumni Association Kenya, and you'll be able to get a lot of information. And also for further reference, you can also follow other pages like US Embassy Nairobi to just get more information about the programs that are going on and how you can plug in into these programs.
So I wanted to give you the same chance, but you remember tuko na deni na wewe hapa hivi ya performance. So we've invited them for Yali festivals. When they contact you on Facebook, wala Facebook kumwambia
MWF Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders Kenya chapter. If you go to that page, you'll find even we've tagged the page for Yali RLC Alumni KE. Both pages are broadcasting everything about Yali and every opportunity about Yali. You can also go to www.mwftrust.com and there you can be able to apply.
Good.
But if you want the link, you can quickly go to our Facebook page and you'll find the link pinned.
These links are so important that you have to follow them because in 1.5 weeks time, the applications will start streaming in so people can apply. Haya. Guys, niwaambie tu kuhusu watu wengine wanafanya vitu kama hizi at a different level ni new era conservationist na hawa ni watu ambao tulikuwa tumekuletea hapa. We had Kenneth B who is also the founder for PAL Poetry After Lunch right there at KNT Kenyatta National Theatre. And on 2nd August they did a launch, or they are launching New Era Conservationist, a groundbreaking 17 minutes film that merges spoken word, poetry, music to champion for wildlife protection. tutaona tu kidogo, but huo utamu ukiumaliza tu kunyonya hivyo, nitakuwa standby with Douglas Ogutu giving us the best of Doe music and art. Ni gitaa tu, sawa? So kwanza tu watch hiyo ya New Era Conservationist. Good. So tunaenda break ndio hapa form.
asemaye kesho ni muongo, asemaye kesho ni muongo, ni muongo, ni muongo. So this song is called Not to Poor Leadership. It's a sensitization on good governance. Africa needs a young man. Africa needs a young woman. Africa needs a young man. Africa needs a young woman. One who will say no to sin. One who will not be afraid. One who will say na 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 sin. One who will not be afraid of revolution. Enough is enough to corruption. Enough is enough to segregation. Enough is enough to violations. Enough is enough to land grabbing. Enough is enough to corruption. Enough is enough to segregation. Enough is enough to violations. Enough is enough to land grabbing. I say no to poor leadership. Say no to bad governance. Say no to poor leadership. Say no to bad governance. I say no to poor leadership. Say no to bad governance. Say no to poor leadership. Say no to bad governance. Heavenly Father, country Kenya. Heavenly Father, I pray for my country Kenya. I pray for this continent, Africa. And I also stand up with my head held high to proclaim no one on the earth. I say no to poor leadership. Say no to bad governance. Say no to poor leadership. Say no to bad governance. I say no to poor leadership. Say no to bad governance. I say no to poor leadership. Say no to bad governance. I say no to poor leadership. Say no to bad governance. All right, here is another song called Vema. This is a love song that's advocating against gender-based violence. Stay here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Stay here. Ooh, 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 ooh. One more day, maybe I'll give you a reason to stay. One more day, baby, maybe asante. Safari ya mapenzi siku hizi sio mchezo mama, nimekupata kwako sitahama. Walimwengu wanapenda kusema, wengi walitaka tuingize lawama. Tuliwahi formula mapema, watazidi kuchungulia. Kichutama, Mungu anawafagilia. Sisi nasi twasimama, hakuna haja kuambia tumelipa gharama. This our love is so special, hainaga drama. We I cherish you, nime left machozi hapo nyuma. Ewe Velma, I wanna treat you vema, treat you vema. Velma, baby, 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 vema. I wanna treat you vema, treat you vema. Velma, ooh yeah, baby, vema. I wanna treat you vema, treat you vema, vema. Plus haut, plus profond, ma chérie. Même si c'est sera le seul baptisme, cet amour c'est ce que je vais faire. Mon cœur est fixé avec toi. Voyage au plus profond de mon ami. Tout à quoi pour toi mon amour. Tu as vraiment approuvé. S'il te plaît sois à moi vraiment. I wanna treat you vema, treat you vema, vema, baby, 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 vema. I wanna treat you vema, treat you vema, vema. Oh yeah, baby, vema. I wanna treat you vema, treat you vema, vema. All right. Okay, so here is Big Team. So baby in the house, turn on the radio. Nataka fanya kitu kwenye show. So baby in the house, turn on the radio. Nataka fanya kitu kwenye show. It's been a long, long night, fighting stuff some we don't know. Been a long, long night, fighting stuff some we don't know. Na sasa vile ninajua tumeshinda. You loving me and me loving you. Na sasa vile ninajua tumeshinda. You loving me and me loving you. Tuko big team, me no way. Big team. We are big team, me no way. Big team. Tuko big team, me no way. Big team. Ohana wa bene bane, omwana wa mama. Wandira makane kanje kosi bane bane bane. Bolera wenyangoriena, mukambi olire. Ahuire mu masayo manako, tutatimira ahadi be. Big team, me no way. Big team. We are big team, me no way. Big team. Tuko big team, me no way. Big team. It's been a long, long night, fighting stuff some we don't know. Been a long, long night, fighting stuff some we don't know. Na sasa vile ninajua tumeshinda. You loving me and me loving you. Tuko big team, me no way. Big team. We are big team, me no way. Big team. Right, thank you so much. To find my music, you can check out Douglas Ogutu on all social media platforms, and check out the songs like Big Team, Vema, Not to Poor Leadership. Even on YouTube, you can also check out Dawa Music and Arts on all social media platforms. On Twitter is @MusicDoe. On Facebook is Doe Music and Arts. Check me out on LinkedIn and Thank you so much for your support. God bless.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Imagine a world where you are empowered to take charge of your health, where you are well informed about the latest advancements in healthcare and understand the policies that impact your well-being. Get ready to take charge of matters your health as we bring you a blend of weekly health features that engage professionals from across various medical fields.
When do you decide as a patient, do I need to go see the doctor? We are at a stage where we are seeing all this manner of chronic illnesses and we wait until we get a disease and then is when we go ahead.
From the most mundane to the complexities that perhaps seem overwhelming, we got you covered.
In terms of the factors that might be attributed, there are hereditary factors that means it could be genetic, so that's one factor. But there are other factors as well, like nutritional deficiencies. So some vitamins such as folate have been identified to be a factor in those. So
our mission is to break down intricate health topics into understandable and actionable insights. Join me, Yvonne Kimuma, every Wednesday 9 p.m. on KUTV's News at 9, where your health is our priority.
Where we ask the coolest questions in science. Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
Guys. Imagine hata uwezi jua time ikienda right here on KUTV Rise to the Art and Culture Monday because it's blazing. The show is blazing. Tumetoka hapo hivyo ku have a very good conversation about all around Yali Fest 2024. We've had an amazing performance from Douglas Ogutu, who I told you bado akona record label. Yani akona Dowe Music and Arts, meaning ni academy. Sasawa. So kwa hiyo academy yenye iko Nakuru wanafunza mambo ya muziki, everything, hadi instruments zenye ungetaka, and then anatoka hapo hivyo ako kwa Yali Network. He's a Yali fellow. meaning yeye na band yake ya Doe Music wataperform in Yali Fest 2024. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, nataka tujikite hapo kwa art, sawa, digital literacy and technology vile inaendelea, na sports, because guys, on set I have Wagwena comedy. Now Wagwena is known for a lot of things, sawa. Wagwena is known for comedy, stand-up comedy. Ameperform Ashaki for events za Churchill organizers, Churchill show organizers. Amekuwa na successful shows zake. Nilikuambia kuhusu Zimmerman. I ever hosted that as a moderator and as a host. Ilikuwa pale NIMPA, Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts. Kutoka hapo hivyo, Wagwena now wameshikana na another Wagwena, and they have Wagwena Foundation.
Yes.
Bro, Wagwena Foundation lazima ikuwe kitu kubwa. But before tuingie hapo hivyo, nikupe time, salimia mtazamaji wa KUTV, wacha wajue kwa undani zaidi Wagwena ni nani, then introduce Wagwena Foundation as we kick on the conversation.
Yes, thank you so much, OJWANG Mariam. Michael Otieno Wagwena, hiyo ni jina ya ID. And as he has said, OJWANG Mariam, that Wagwena is someone who is talented. I do sport, I'm a goalkeeper. Vile I'm a comedian, nimefanya comedy with the Shaki Gardens, as he had said earlier. Ilikuwa Sleepy David, the guy from Churchill show. Vile pia nikafanya show yangu pale NIMPA called The Laughter Song Coming with a good friend of mine called Patroba Moses. And I've also had another show at home, Ugenya, where we had the talent expo, and tulikuwa na talent show ya watu wasanii wa after. So Wagwena is just a very big brand, and we have now come out with a thing that will now bring all the youths in the Kenya wakuje pia wa showcase talent zao. That's why now we came with Wagwena Foundation.
Okay. We are now experiencing the inception and the launching of Wagwena Foundation. You are all-rounded Wagwena Foundation. What is Wagwena Foundation about, and how can people join the foundation?
So basically, Wagwena Foundation is a foundation whereby you see in Kenya, people have talent. Like me, I'm a talented guy. But as I sail through my ranks of talent, nimegundua kuwa people wana struggle sana talent zao. You find someone is a basketball player, ama is a football player, but hana hizo equipments kama football, hana socks, hana boots, hana jersey, hana pali pa kucheza ball. Secondly, Wagwena Foundation sasa ina come in whereby now this is a foundation where we have the equipments. We seek from donors, we seek from well-wishers, so that they can enable us achieve the dreams of those young guys who are outside the Kenya, ama wenye wako ndani ya Kenya na hawezi kupata hizo vitu. Secondly, pia Wagwena Foundation, we are dealing with artists. Kama mimi ni msanii, nimekuambia comedian. Nilikuwa naimba kitambo pale Yala. Nilikuwa napendwa sana na St. Mary School Yala. Nilikuwa napendwa sana na mangoma zangu za kitambo za kale. But tena unapata kuwa musicians in Kenya, unapata mtu akuna talent but ana equipments, ana guitar, mtu akuna talent ana piano, akuna talent ana hizi hata saxophone, vitu kama hizo. So Wagwena Foundation is a foundation whereby we want to enable people who are talented, wakuwe na uwezo wa kupata guitar, akuwe na uwezo wa kupata piano, akuwe na uwezo wa kupata kitu. Tunataka tu mali anaenda anaicheza, anakuza talanta yake.
Mko kwa vitu tatu kuu.
Yeah.
Arts, when you may explain, digital literacy na sports. Hizi vitu zote tatu kuna vile ni diverse. Mko na strategies gani za kuensure that all these roles zitafanyika smoothly?
So basically, I start with the digital literacy, whereby tumeona kuwa the world evolve, and now we see even people are now into the internet world. Unamsikia msako YouTube all the time, mtako mahali na like people now at KUTV and tuangalia YouTube ama Facebook. Yeah, so tunataka hiyo literacy iende kwa wase wenye kuku mashinani. Wenye bado yes, unajua mashinani maybe hakuna power, but kuna watu wako na masimu wenye wanaenda wanacharge mali. So we want to go to the areas wenye hakuna hizo internet, tuwafunze vile internet na work. How can you be a content creator? How do you market? How do you as in talent yako ukitumia mtandao kama simu, ama utumie mtandao kama computer, utajua kupost. Yuko na utajua kupost, but uko na talent. Talking about sports, in Ukwala we are going to set up a football camp called the Blazing Eagles Football Club, where tunataka kuna cha under 13, 15 and 19, so that watoto wa huko mtaani pia wacheze ball.
Blazing Eagles Football Club ni ya teens, vijana kati ya miaka 13 na miaka 19. Ndo wa join. wanahitaji kuwa, tusiongelele miaka, wanahitaji nini ingine? Lazima ikuwe ni watu wenye wako Ugenya ama mko na plans za kuexpand. We said that goal ni moja, get out of the block to change the block. Mmepiga kila kitu Nairobi, mmemaliza, mmerejea Ugenya,
tunarudi nyumbani.
Mnatafuta nani wa join hiyo team? Ni kina nani wako pale hivyo?
So Ugenya is a place that is center based in Siaya. Utapata kuwa Ugenya people can easily reach the place. Iko Ukwala, we are setting it at Ukwala. So Ukwala tena ni Ukwala is in Ugenya, na hapo kwa Ukwala ndio the administration ya Ugenya yote iko, ofisi za mawakubwa, maofisi. Sasa it's a center area. So hapo tukiweka hiyo academy, kama mtu anatoka hata Bondo na anataka kuja kucheza ball, in future we are also expecting to have things like areas for their accommodation. Juu unapata wanafunzi wanasoma, they are orphans, kuna orphans ndio, when they go to school unapata kuwa they need also place to shelter. So the foundation in future we will require that tukuwe na mahali ambapo kama mtu ni mtalent anatoka Nairobi but anataka acheze Blazing Eagles FC, anaenda tu pale Ugenya, tutakuwa na accommodation
kabisa. It's great, napenda manze, mko na future big sana. Now let's talk about facilitating all that. Do you already have partners on board ama mnatafuta watu wa kuwasaidia kufanya hizi kazi? Global foundations zenye zinaweza funds, grants, vitu kama hizo, waongeleshe, let them know vile mnaweza partner pamoja ndo msukume hizi vitu tatu zenye mnasukuma, which is art, digital literacy na vile sport.
Basically our main sustainability plan for the Wagwena Foundation is basically selling our merchandises. Like yenye nimevaa hapa, kofia hapa, unaona hii kofia vile ni mzuri sana. T-shirt pia please ni polo neck mzuri.
Ukweli.
So if someone is willing to support us, anaweza nunua merchandise. That is one of our sustainability goals. Then if you look at the UN Youth Vision 2030, wanasema kuwa wanajua kuwa the world is going digital. So we are also eyeing the UN organization and staffs, so that if they see the importance of coming to basically not Africa but Kenya in Ukwala, wakuje watusaidie, wanafunzi at least waende hata majua cheze mpira. We have people who have gone abroad.
Kabisa. Yeah. I love it. Umeweza kuona hadi watu kama Mofa, Michael Lunga from Foundation anafanya fiti sana. I think their team inaingia mpaka Div 2, meaning you start from somewhere, you're going somewhere. Now, juu ya time, kuna watu wengi sana wangetaka kupata more information yenye hatuwezi maliza hapa hivi kwa show. Wagwena Foundation inapatikana wapi online, ama contacts mahali wanaweza bonga na nyinyi, either wanataka kujiunga na nyinyi ama wanataka kuwasaidia mahali muweze kusaidia wengine?
So basically Wagwena Foundation tuko kwa Instagram as Wagwena Foundation. Then basically Wagwena Foundation pia being mini Wagwena, people know me at TikTok at Wagwena. You can just reach me on TikTok Wagwena, then you DM me for more information about the foundation, because this is a foundation whereby tunataka kuwa in the next 10 years, this where someone reminds that I was once brought by Wagwena Foundation, because mina feel usanii ni ngumu sana, na usanii nataka mtu akushike mkono. So if we can have a foundation whereby wasee ambao walikuwa wasanii wamelipitia hizo makusumbukana ama kusumbuliwa na unajua wewe ni msanii, unajua vile vitu ni ngumu, maybe unataka kwenda show, hakuna pesa, unataka kwenda wapi? So everyone is welcome. Unani reach out and inasonga vile inasonga
kabisa. There's someone watching from Richard Kenya, anasema watching from Kabete constituency. Ametuma picha hadi hapa hivi kwa comment, akiwa kwa TV yake ya more than 50 inches. In fact anasema hii si yake, wanawatchia kwa caretaker, juu yake ni kubwa. So watu wana follow. So what's the future yenye unaona mtakuwa mmefikisha in 5 years, tukimaliza my last question? Na vile wewe Wagwena, wewe mwenyewe unapatikana wapi social media?
Our future in 5 years as Wagwena Foundation, as I basically told you that artists wanaumia sana, so tunataka at least in 5 years kuna msanii mwenye akoweza kupurchase guitar huko nyumbani but ako na guitar anaweza cheza. Kuna msanii mwenye for example akaweza kupurchase orutu, akona orutu, nyatiti akonazo, anaweza zicheza. Kuna msanii anajua kuchora but akona kupata hizi placards, these things like the great hizi unaona kama hizi zinauzwa pesa mzuri. So we want to give them the materials and the skills so that wakue wase wenye pia wanasikika huko nje kwa the whole world.
So project yenye mnasukuma huu mwaka ni the foundation getting it known out there.
Yeah, basically this year we're just gonna do kuambia wase kuwa there's a foundation that is nurturing talent.
Haya, kuna quote umeweka pale Instagram, sijui nikusomee juu iko mbali. Nikimaliza hii quote tutatupea your parting shot. So usitumie hii quote yako kama parting shot, okay? Haya, na ningetaka hiyo nini yako ikuwe ya uko Ugenya. You give us a saying, tuna try so hard kukuza lugha za Kiafrika zisififie. So growing up, I'm sure will interact with your grandma, aunt or someone like that. So you know something from your community. Hiyo ndio utatupea. Now, quote ya Wagwena, ladies and gentlemen, yenye ilinibamba sana leo, anasema, without culture and the relative freedom it implies, society, even when perfect, is but a jungle. Without culture and the relative freedom it implies, society, even when perfect, is but a jungle.
But a jungle.
Ni msitu tu. Sawa, malizia hiyo parting shot yako ikuje na hiyo saying ya kwenyu na kwa heri zako.
Okay, guys,
next time pia uambie tukipatana utatupea performance ya stand up comedy. You've won awards for stand up comedy.
Yeah, I think we'll now have the next show for Gwena Comedy here Foundation, sindio? So basically I just wanna tell everyone at home Ugenya, basically Siaya County, that wabiro dala to Wagwena Foundation kabiro dala nyaka jodala winyo maber.
Ngoja unaenda mbio, unajua hapo hivyo unafaa kujifunza pia mimi.
Wabiro dala tunakuja nyumbani. Na tunakuja nyumbani na mazuri. Wabiro dala na tunakuja na mazuri.
Malizia
wabiro dala to wabiro gik mabecho becho.
Wabiro dala, wabiro gig
mabecho. Becho. Yeah, we are coming home with good things. That is now Wagwena Foundation. To everyone who is talented there, this is now your chance. At least when we are getting support from people who feel like artist kama wewe, then mimi najua artist ndo anabeba artist mwenzake. Yeah.
Artist ndo anabeba artist mwenzake. That's the take home point from hii sebule yenye tumekuwa na Wagwena. So please, kama wewe ni artist pale hivyo uko established, kama wewe ni mwanaspoti uko established, kama wewe ni mtu ambaye anaelewa mambo ya techno uko established, kindly reach out to Wagwena Foundation, wasaidie as wanasaidia wengine. Kweli?
Yes.
Kabisa. Ladies and gentlemen, due your time, allow me to invite tomorrow for KUTV Rise Today. Yet another day, itakuwa ni Biashara Tuesday with Richard Okenya right here. Majaliwa yake Jalali atujaliaye neema kubwa ndogo ndogo na hata za wastani. Nitakuja tuchambue magazeti kama kawaida. Lakini pia next Monday papa hapa tukutane on Art and Culture Monday. This is KUTV Rise Today. Nashukuru sana Wagwena na kila mtu ambaye amefanikisha show siku ya leo. Tumekuwa na Rich Jerry Wainaina, tumekuwa na Douglas Gitu kutoka Yale Foundation, kutoka kwa timu nzima ikiongozwa na mwelekezi na vile producer Ryan Ngure. Tunasema asante na shukran tena zaidi. Jina langu ni OJWANG, mtoto wa Mariam, Senior Warrant Officer 1 ama Lieutenant Kanali ukipenda. Nikukumbushe tu ya kwamba jalali halali au Mungu halali wala hali wali au ugali. Hadi wakati mwingine, baki ukiwa salama. Shukran.